Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Reptiles, and one of the things we like to do when we take a little break and we stop working at a reptile facility for a few days is when we travel, is we like to see animal parks. Everywhere we go, we try to find something that relates to animals and see kind of what they have to offer. So today we were in Bearizona. This is my first trip ever here, and it is located just outside of Flagstaff, which is where we're staying. So we're going to hit some Grand Canyon, hit some hiking trails. We've already seen some of the cliff dwellings and things like that we got to hike to, which is really awesome. But today is our animal park day. So since it's Bearizona, I thought it would be only fitting to film this with the grizzly bear in the background. But Bearizona has a lot more to offer than just bears. The first part of your trip is going to be a drive-through zoo, and it's one of the nicer ones I've been to. I would say, you're not going to have some of the variety you may have in other ones, but we did see reindeer, we did see bison, we did see some different types of regular deer. We saw a lot of bears. They do live up to their name. I can't even count how many bears we saw. We saw some timber wolves that came right up to the car. I actually had to wait on one, kind of go around it, so that was really kind of neat. So it was a really good drive-through with a lot of animals. But you also get this walkthrough portion, right? And for those reptile people like me, reptiles are going to be pretty limited here. It's not Reptileizona after all. The only thing I saw for reptiles was a gopher snake. We also did see a albino Burmese python, and then they do have one Gila monster. So that would be kind of all you're going to expect for reptiles. But the bear enclosures, super nice. I don't know if you can see, there's actually 3 grizzlies in here. One of them just kind of waking up. Grizzly bears are doing what they do. They're pretty lazy. It's only like 50 degrees today. It's pretty cool. They don't care. They're still going to lay around and do nothing. But how many black bears think we saw, hon?
I think we've seen 8 so far.
8? We saw way more than 8 black bears.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wasn't counting.
So you do get your money's worth. Let's talk about that. Animal parks are not always cheap. So this place here, it does run $30 per person.
During the weekdays.
During the weekdays, a little higher on the weekends. So just be prepared for that. Do you get your money's worth? I think so. You got to understand how expensive it is to take care of and feed in facilities like this. So I do feel like you get your money's worth. You get to see a lot of animals. You get pretty close experiences. We did catch the bird show. That was really cool. We got to see, a hornbill kind of do its thing, like you throw grapes at a fly strip and catch it. So that was a lot of fun. So you will get a lot of those experiences. The park itself is clean. It's well maintained. It's one of those places you go to, you kind of feel happy to be there. Some animal places you go to and you almost feel like, oh man, I don't know if this is where I really wanted to give my money and support. This isn't one of those. This one you're here, you're like, everything looks nice, the animals look healthy. It's really kind of a great thing. So before we wrap up Bearizona, highly recommend, I would anyway. Question girl, any questions?
Yeah, are animals allowed at Bearizona? Because we typically travel with Bo.
You can, actually yes they are. But let me be kind of covering that. If you have a pet or a service animal, whatever you have, you can bring your pet to Bearizona. However, if you choose to do that, you're going to be limited to only the drive-through portion. So if all I got was the drive-through portion, now I'd kind of feel like maybe I didn't get my $30 worth. It's the drive-through portion, the walk portion together that really make this park have a true value. So kind of keep that in mind. But if you just want to take your dog with you, let your dog see some bears and see some of his ancestors and wolves, you can do it. Just he has to stay in the car in the drive-through portion only. Anything else?
What animals did we see through the walkthrough area that you feel like makes it worth it?
So the walkthrough area, obviously, we have a black bear enclosure. They have a grizzly bear enclosure here. They have a really, really nice jaguar enclosure. That's just awesome. They also have a really nice river otter enclosure. So you get to see some river otters, and they were doing their thing in the water. Bobcat enclosure was here, raccoons. So it wasn't that there was anything crazy, right? But all of the enclosures are really, really well done. And for me, that's a big part of it too. I'd rather see less animals, but in nice enclosures than them crammed into little crappy caging. But here's a really good job of that. Anything you want to add, dear?
I would add that the walking area is really nice. It's pretty well paved, especially for someone who has ADA needs.
Yeah.
And would need something like that.
I'd say this is one part that's not paved.
And then they do have a couple of wheelchairs available when you get here to the walking area. You don't
Yeah.
always see that when there's wheelchairs available or even walkers, and I noticed that they had that available. But yeah, I would say the enclosures are very nice. I've been very impressed with what I've seen for just kind of the care of the animals. And don't just stop looking on the ground. We've seen multiple animals in the trees here in the area that is the walkthrough.
At least one bear in a tree in the walkthrough, one bear in a tree in the drive-through. The raccoons were all treed when we saw them, so definitely do look up. What was your favorite animal? And then we'll wrap this up and go to Patreon.
Well, I love the river otters.
Favorite animals, river otters. Mine was obviously the jaguars. I got a soft spot for big cats. All right, let's hop off here and we will slide to Patreon.